What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the B.TS show. I'm your host, Chris J. This was very impromptu. Got a lot of breaking news. I wanted to do an overall reaction today, based off of what we just found out. As far as the advertisements, we will get to that towards the end. But let's go ahead and get to it, ladies and gentlemen. Stephanie McMahon resigns. As soon as Vince brought his, back to this company, we all knew things were gonna get shaken up. We didn't think Stephanie leaving was gonna be one of them. That came at as a complete shocker to me. If I had to be perfectly honest. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and read what Stephanie said, because like I said, I'm not really too happy about what's going on. And we're gonna get into the other breaking news that broke a few hours ago. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, I'm definitely not happy. Well, we'll wait. Let me press this. We almost had a perfect start to the show. Oh well. So let's go ahead and read Stephanie's tweet. Dear WWE Universe, about 8 months ago, I took a leave of absence and within a few weeks, unexpectedly had the opportunity of a lifetime. I had the privilege to return as the co-CEO and chairwoman of the board of WWE. I cannot put into words how proud I am to have led what I consider to be the greatest company in the world, working alongside a remarkable leadership team and one of the strongest executives I have known in my co-CEO, Nick Khan. Our founder, Vince McMahon, has returned as executive chair and is leading an exciting process regarding strategic alternatives. And with Nick's leadership and Triple H's as chief content officer, I am confident WWE is in the perfect place to continue to provide, unparalleled creative content and drive maximum value to the shareholders. WWE is such a strong position. WWE is in such a strong position that I have decided to return to my leave and take it one step further with my official resignation. I look forward to cheering on WWE from the other side of the business, where I started when I was a little kid as a pure fan. I will always remain dedicated to WWE. I truly love our company, our employees, our superstars, and our fans. And I am grateful to all of our partners. Thank you for everything. Then, now, forever together. Steph. So, like I said, we knew that Vince coming back was going to shake things up. We did not think Steph was going to leave. So that's really bit unfortunate. And like I said, I really just don't like the fact that Vince is back in this role. It's like, do you have no shame? And of course he does it. You know why he does it, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, this is his child. This is his baby, the WWE. He created from the ground. Yeah, not really from the ground up, but you get what I'm saying. There's a business deal on the line. So with WWE worth $6 billion, the question is, why is McMahon really back? There you go. We got reports that WWE was sold to Saudi Arabia, allegedly. Nothing has been confirmed by WWE as of yet. But let's go ahead and read Deadspin. This is probably the only credible article that I can find. All right, Saudi Arabia may be buying WWE. Stephanie McMahon resigns as CEO report. If Vince McMahon has indeed sold WWE to Saudi Arabia, PIF, Let me try that again. If Vince McMahon has indeed sold WWE to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund, well, that's something every wrestling fan knew could happen for a while. Though no deal has yet been officially confirmed, or even addressed, it's always been a distant buzz in the ether. Rumor of the sales of the company have been louder, though, since Nick Khan came aboard. Big deals are what he does, basically. Combine that with WWE running shows in Saudi Arabia, despite all the flashing, bland reasons to not do so. And the connection was relatively easy to make anyone who wanted to connect the dots. So, Steve, I'm not pronouncing that name. Sources: WWE has been sold. This is a tweet, by the way. WWE has been sold to Saudi Arabia PIF. The company will go back to being private. Unknown if Vince McMahon will return to head of creative, but it is expected by some people, and that's why I have a problem, ladies and gentlemen. I do not want Vince McMahon to be part of any content creative team at all. Why is that? Ladies and gentlemen, this has been some of the best storyline in wrestling in the past 20 years. I kid you not. I love tuning into Raw and SmackDown, albeit I gotta watch it on Hulu. Although I'm really gonna start recording this so I can get the full 3 hour show on Monday Night Raw. Everything that what Triple H did in NXT, you know he has a thing for content because he's been a wrestler at the highest stages. I believe he's a 13-time or 14-time world champion. So he knows what it means to be in that square circle, how to be good on the mic game, and how to connect with the crowd, whether you are the babyface or the heel. He knows how to do that. He knows how to do that so well that he did that in NXT. NXT, he created. That's his own baby, per se. And we saw how NXT was doing. Matter of fact, NXT had some of the best storylines, the better wrestlers, the better fans, because they were so in tune in to what that product had to bring. And just so it wasn't less, how can I say, it was less Hollywood compared to WWE. That's why, I don't know what the hell that was. I'm sorry, y'all. That's why what's what I'm looking for? That's why NXT, honestly, NXT had no competition regarding the main roster. If I'd be perfectly honest, NXT was battling AEW because they already knew that the main roster was no match. But did Vince care? No. And you know he didn't care because anytime the NXT talent was to transfer over to WWE, depending who you are, Vince buried them on live television and got them kicked out of the company. The last person I recall doing that is him doing that to was Killian Cross. So yeah, if Vince is going to stay in the business side, the corporate side, yeah, that's cool. But we all know that's not the case. He's going to want full creative control if he decides to stay after this alleged deal. Well, let's see. Let's continue. Cassidy Haynes from BodySlam.net says, for what it's worth, I'm told the Saudi deal is done and they're taking the company private. So a lot that has been the main consensus. They just weren't dots that anyone would want to connect, though everyone knew it could happen. It was not the kind of thing you had any urge to try and comprehend. Sure, awful and disgusting entities get together all the time, but it's not like one spends their free time thinking about hypotheticals, coupling of bog monsters. It's hard to even wrap your arms around before even thinking about the industrial strength soap you need to clean your arms afterwards. Wow, that was something. Okay, let's skip down. What does this reported sale means for the rest of the company? It's also hard to fathom if it is true that Vince would ever come armed with the deal that didn't reinstall him as the overlord of the TV product. Oh God, unless it's Saudi bid, if there is one, it's so much higher than any other entity would have dreamed of. Imagine he could have gotten several billions. They did a tableau, but it's all good. It happens. They could have got several billions from a host of bidders, but at least a few of them would have insisted on keeping the current creative and production team. Given WWE's recent upswing after Vince's departure, in terms of viewers and overall feelings from both fans and wrestlers, whether the product is that much better is in the eyes of the beholder. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to tell you right now, it is. This has been some, like I said, this has been some of the best storylines, the best content in the past 20 years. And just the idea that Vince may come back and go back to how it used to be, absolutely not. You are going to turn off a lot of fans, a lot of wrestlers. I will not be seeing a lot of people from NXT coming to the roster. Matter of fact, if you ask me, that's one of the main reasons why Adam Cole left the WWE, because he saw how Vince treated the NXT stars. He said, "No, you're not about to do that to me. No, I'm about to go to AEW." Let's continue. As for everything else, who knows what happens to a host of the performers if indeed the Saudis are now the new bosses. LGBTQ plus wrestlers certainly are a concern. Same goes for the women wrestler, some of whom have performed on Saudi shows in the past, but full blown Saudi ownership is a different kettle of fish. Or the wrestlers like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and John Cena, who have either refused to go to the Saudi shows or were not allowed, like Sammy, due to his Syrian ethnicity, or both. Oh yeah, that was kind of yeah. Now I cannot remember which particular show it was and how many years ago was it. Because of that, uh, the Saudi Arabia, whoever was in charge, they did not want Sami Zayn there. Kevin Owens, being his best friend, said, "If Sammy ain't coming, I ain't coming either." And of course, there's some other political stuff, and that's one of the reasons why Daniel Bryan didn't go. And that's going to be interesting. That's really going to be interesting. Like when it comes, especially when it comes to LGBTQ, ladies and gentlemen. See, I tell people that's a Western thing, and to a degree, that's a European thing as well. Anywhere else, you're risking life and death. So the fact that this company is going to about to go back private, if the sale goes through, and all these other pieces drawn into it, like one's personal beliefs, this is going to be crazy. No one should be surprised that one of the worst people on earth has reportedly done one of the worst things possible. It's just a level of filth that no one ever want to contemplate, and yet here we are. Because the thing about people, this oh well, because the thing about people this shitty is that they can always get shittier. See, that's why I like journalism, especially GQ and Desmond. They will just go out there and say what they got to say. But that's interesting. Let me stop sharing. So here's my actually take on all this. Um, if what was said was true, Vince, how dare you? Like real talk, how dare you? How could you? Like, I understand business is business, but you are putting your wrestlers in harm's. You're put. How can I say this? Their civil rights are about to be violated. Now, as a firm believer of God, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, let me touch on the LGBTQ thing. Is that a lifestyle that I condone? Is that a lifestyle I promote? No. But at the same time, they are human beings as well. Those are still God's children. And you're putting them in a you're taking away their right to choose, their will. And that's something that God gave us. And I do legit feel sad for the wrestlers like Sonya Deville, who's probably the only one that comes to my mind at this moment. That's not fair to people like Sonya. Not even a little bit. So I do feel sorry for her. Sammy has never performed in the Middle East because due to his ethnicity. And I was like, whoa, that sounded kind of crazy, if you ask me. What's going on there? The brothers connection to screen audio. Try sharing your screen again. Restart your browsers. What? 1 second, y'all. Okay, I hate when StreamYard does some crazy stuff like that because I thought something was going on. So yeah, if this sale is true, this sale go through, a lot of people's civil rights are going to be violated. A lot of people's free will is going to be violated. This has to be one of the most lowest things that Vince has ever done. And you ask me if this is why Stephanie McMahon decided to resign as CEO of WWE, I don't blame her. Not even a little bit. Everybody has their own beliefs. Saudi Arabia runs the country a different way than how it's run in the US. Yeah, some people will be able to survive and thrive, but at the same time, there's other people's who the most powerful thing that God gave them was a choice. You are about to rob them of their choice to be human, their choice to live their life. So I'm not a fan of, if this is a true thing, I'm not a fan of this deal. Not even a little bit. You could have sold this to other people. If you're like, I highly doubt Saudi was going to offer the most money. I could be wrong, but if that's the case, my God, I don't understand how WWE see. And this goes back to the last all reaction I said when it came to Vince. I know I'm a little bit over the place, and I'm about to end this. If you're going to get rid of Vince McMahon, you better make sure he has no leverage to come back. When y'all got rid of him, or when y'all made him walk out the door, you let him leave with majority ownership and majority of the voting power. And that's how he was able to muscle his way back into the WWE. The company went up 75%. It's now worth $6 billion. And allegedly, this company has been sold to Saudi Arabia. And if you ask me, that's what led to Stephanie McMahon resigning as CEO. Babe, that's you? Okay. Now you're good. I'm just streaming. Whew, my wife gave me a heart attack. Well, it's past my bedtime. Anyway, Shout out to Low Roller Scratcher. How you doing? Thank you for coming to the show. I think WWE wrestlers will get paid huge paychecks soon. Uh, Look at Phil Mickelson paid $200 million to leave PGA to join Saudi's golf team. Yeah, the money's going to be there for the wrestlers who has nothing to worry about. Like, for example, here's the only wrestlers that is going to probably have a problem with this. Sonya Deville is going to have an issue with this. Sami Zayn is going to have issue with this. Any wrestlers that have some like obscene tattoos or ink on them, like what's his name? Like Aleister Black, when he was in WWE, he couldn't go to the Saudi show because of his ink. Now, I don't think any wrestlers would be on the main roster on NXT has that problem to worry about. However, there are people who have their own personal beliefs, and now they're stuck in a crossroad to think, do I make money or do I stand on what I believe in as a human? So this is why WWE, this is why Vince came back, and I think this was a bad idea. This is a real bad idea. They should have really just bought him out of his contract and forfeit all his voting rights. They did not do that. I do not know why. Negotiation, they could have found some loopholes. Like, there's always cracks within an organization for you to come out on top, even when the impossible is against you. They didn't do that. They let him take an 8 month vacation, and now he's here. So, if this is true, I feel sorry for some of those wrestlers. Personally, and my personal beliefs, and granted, I'm aware that there's another lawsuit coming against Vince in regards to something personal. When I'll touch on it when more information comes out. But like I said, my personal thing on this, outside of the Saudi trade, please leave the content side alone. Leave that to Triple H. I've said it before, 2 times on the stream. I'm saying for the third time. This has been the best storyline in the past 20 years. Please, Vince, leave the content side alone. But it's hard to tell a billionaire what to do. Last comment, then I'm gonna read the ads. AEW stars jump switch WWE for big contracts. I can see that happening. We might see the first $100 million contract WWE soon. I think the New Day. Maybe you're talking about in single um single wrestlers. If I recall correctly, I need to go look at it again. I think the New Day, all three of them have a $200 million contract as a team. I think that's a little. I think that number might be off. I need to go look at that. But if we see $100 million contract, who who will get the $100 million contract? Obviously, Roman will get it. Roman, what's his name? Cody Rhodes, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins. Who else? On the women's side, Charlotte, of course. Definitely not Ronda Rousey. I don't know. Her my game is trash. She's not $100 million wrestler. She barely deserves top dollars in the current market. Um, Women's side, who's running the women's side? I like Bianca Belair, but she's not $100 million player yet. Matter of fact, the Street Profits have a better opportunity to be $100 million tag team. But then in that case, I had to give it to the Usos and the New Day firsthand. But like I said, I could have sworn they're under a $200 million contract. But yeah, The Rock, John Cena, Brock Lesnar might. Yeah, but those are part time wrestlers. I don't know how much you're going to pay part time wrestlers. Uh, Last time I checked, Seth Rollins is worth $12 million. I don't even think I would give a part time wrestler that much money, but I would have to go back to see how much money they get paid right now to even determine that. Um, yeah, these are part-time wrestlers, and now that Vince is back, Brock Lesnar may come back. Um, nigga, how you doing? Welcome to the B.TS House Show. Um, Stephanie is true. The as far as the Saudi deal, I'm getting reports that it is true. There's nothing confirmed by WWE. That's the crazy part. WWE has not confirmed anything yet, but I'm getting from two credible resources said that the deal's done. But until WWE says something, I'm gonna call it alleged. Now, what about Sami Zayn? That's cool. I'm a little bit sad for because of his Syrian ethnicity. He has not gone to the Saudi show. And because he has not gone to the Saudi show, and now you sold a company to Saudi Arabia, what's going to be next to Sammy? If you ask me, he's going to leave. If he's not forced out, he's going to leave. And that's not fair to him, not even a little bit. Do you think there will be a mass exodus of wrestlers leaving WWE? Yes, 100%. Here's how. NXT, we all know how Vince feel about NXT wrestlers. There are some he likes. I will openly admit that he likes the Matt Riddles. He liked obviously the Shield. Who else came from NXT and was a talent? I can't. Nah, I was gonna say Bobby Roode, but that's not even true. That lasts for a moment, and Vince threw him to the wayside. But yeah, a lot of NXT wrestlers are going to leave. They're going to come to NXT. They're going to leave it there with Shawn Michaels and maybe Triple H. Because honestly, Vince is going to really Triple H up his duties. Although I personally do not want that to happen. He's going to be relieved of his duties, and he's going to probably go back to NXT or whatever the case may be, or he might just leave the company altogether with his wife. But what just happened? Um, okay, I'm experiencing a lot of technical difficulties, but we're gonna keep it pushing. NXT wrestlers are gonna leave. Some wrestlers on the main roster is going to leave as well. Particularly those who have LGBTQ ties, those who have their own political ties, they're gonna leave. Um, Next, they pay filmmakers $200 million to play in the tournament. I don't think Phil Mickelson's personal beliefs interfere with what Saudi Arabia has going on. So that was a right business deal for him. So I'm not mad about that. I got tickets to the Royal Rumble. I'm still going to the show. Congratulations on that. I'm in Houston. Oh yeah. Do I want to? Well, we'll talk about that when we get closer to the live stream for the Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns. Yes, heel Roman Reigns is the best thing. Yeah, this is a Tony Khan deal for what's being told to me. That this is he Tony Khan inspires these big deals to go on in WWE. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's ecstatic. I wonder how much cut he gets from that deal. What does this mean for the boy Cody Rhodes? I did not watch Monday Night Raw just yet because I've been preoccupied. We'll watch it tomorrow morning. But to be honest, he's coming back to the Royal Rumble. If you ask me, he's gonna he's gonna return. Now, as far as who's gonna win, I'm gonna wait till we get a little closer to that live stream. We will do a live stream on January 28th at the top of the hour of Royal Rumble starting. He's not going back to AEW. No, he's not going back to AEW. I can assure you of that. He's going to win that title first, then he'll leave, but he's not leaving. I don't think wrestlers will leave WWE. If they don't have any personal interference with Saudis, the beliefs, they'll stay. But you'll be surprised at how many people on that roster has their own personal belief, particularly LGBTQIA. Like I said, Sonya Deville's the only one that I know is out publicly with that. So I don't see her staying. I don't see if you don't like how Saudi's government is being ran and their personal beliefs because of your affiliation. I can see a lot of wrestlers being upset and leaving, especially since this company is about to go back to being private. So I don't know what that means for people who got stocks in WWE. Will that be sold to you? How much money you'll be awarded? I don't know, but we will see. WWE might still a big contract. Sorry, WWE might still a big contract, a huge contract from AEW star. Maybe the biggest contract they got is CM Punk, but I don't see them releasing Punk anytime soon. Yeah, WWE shows will be in Saudi Arabia. Nobody's gonna want to fly over there. Not really. Yeah, nobody's gonna want to fly over there, but they got a lot of core fan bases, core fan in Saudi Arabia. So they're not worried about that, unfortunately. Oh, hold on. No, I'm saying like Cody Rhodes with the Saudi news. Do you think he goes back to AEW? No, I still don't believe so. I really don't. Uh, you're not coming to sense of like 3 hours. I would love to. I honestly would, and I knew ahead of time that the Royal Rumble was coming back to San Antonio, but things fall in place for a reason, which is okay. I'm not tripping about it. If anything, I'm waiting for WrestleMania to come back to Houston. It's not coming back next year because I know it's going to be in Philly. I'll just sit back and wait because I went to WrestleMania 25. I went to the Monday Night Raw after that particular WrestleMania. I went to the SmackDown in Houston before WrestleMania 27. And I also went to WWE Royal Rumble in Houston. And for the, I wish DraftKings was in partnership with WWE back then because that whole card, I got that whole entire card right. Only chose one match with my heart, and that was the United States Championship, and I got that wrong. Other than that, I got the whole card right, even though who was going to make the surprise pop ups in that match. But who knows? I appreciate you guys for joining me. Thank you so much. I wasn't really expecting people to pop in, but I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Real quick, before we head on out of here, ladies and gentlemen, FNX, are you looking to lose weight, gain weight, the healthiest way possible? FNX is the way to go. They have supplements for you to utilize. If you have a workout plan, go to the link, choose which upper plan you're trying to incorporate with your body. They got supplements for you, and they also got workout gear. So the link is in the description. The promo code is BTSI for 15% off. Sorry, let me click that. And next up, Brytn Smile. You're trying to keep your teeth white in between doctor's visits. Trust me, I know. You can go get the whitening kit from Brytn Smile. Promo code is BTSI for 25% off. And you're looking to update your wardrobe with some new styles, new accessories, with videos, the way to go. Promo code is BTSI show for 50% off. All links will be located in the press that wrong button again. All links will be located in the description. Real quick, let me get these last 3 comments out the way. I went to Eliminate Church in 2019 when Sasha Bailey won the title. Oh yeah, that was a legendary. Yes, that was legendary. That was in Houston. I lost my voice watching that pay-per-view, and that was something special. That was just great storytelling. One of the few. Well, I would say I'm not going to credit that to Vince. Well, actually, I have to, I guess, but it is what it is. Let's see. If Triple H is released this week, or he resigns, we're screwed. I agree 100%. Please, we all need to pray to the wrestling gods that AAA stays as the chief content officer and Vince McMahon minds his own business. Here's a problem. The WWE's his business. So I think we're fucked. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh Jesus. I just the fact that the idea of Vince coming back to the content space scares me. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, we'll see what happens tomorrow. We all gotta take this one day at a time. We are in this together, people. Other than that, like I said, I appreciate you guys for joining me today, this evening. Thank you so much. This is the B.TS show. I'm your host, Christopher J. Do me a favor, like the video and subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow me on all my social media accounts: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Clubhouse. If you would like to make a donation, you don't have to if you choose to. The Cash App is the B.TS show. Participants waive their rights to privacy. We are still on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, I will give one lucky person $100. Just one. And so, I'm a man of my words. We are almost at 500 subscribers. Once we reach that goal, one lucky person is going to get $50 from me. And also, do not forget to go visit the B.TS show website on your spare time. We have articles there. I'm going to update my website throughout the week. So, like I said, good times, good times, good times. Other than that, people, thank you for tuning in. My name is Christopher J. I will see you guys over the weekend. Y'all have a blessed evening and pray that Vince don't screw this up, although it's looking real familiar right about now.